They laughed at me before I even opened my mouth. Not the friendly kind of laugh, not awkward either. The kind that says you don't belong here and we're about to remind you of it. And, standing there holding an invitation nobody bothered to read, I realized this wasn't just a wedding. This was a test. And I had already failed in their eyes. Let me back up a bit. This happened at an oceanfront estate called Hawthorne Point, the kind of place you only see in lifestyle magazines or drone shots with soft music underneath. White tents stretched across the lawn, crystal chandeliers hanging like frozen fireworks, champagne flowing before noon. Old money. Real old money. The kind that doesn't check price tags and doesn't apologize for anything. I arrived alone. Parked my car myself in the outer lot, straightened my jacket, and walked the long gravel path toward the main pavilion. I remember thinking how calm the ocean looked that day, how quiet everything felt compared to places I'd been before. I had an invitation in my pocket. Cream paper, embossed letters, my name spelled correctly. I checked it twice, just to be sure. Funny how you start doubting yourself when you know you're walking into a room that already decided who you are. At the guest table, I picked up the pen. That's when a voice snapped from behind me. "Excuse me." Sharp, controlled, practiced. I turned around and saw a woman in a perfectly tailored ivory dress, diamonds catching the sun. Eleanor Whitmore, mother of the bride. She looked at me the way people look at a stain on a white carpet. "What exactly are you doing?" she asked. Signing the guest book, I said, calm, polite. I've learned that tone matters when people are already suspicious. Her smile tightened. "You're not invited." "I am," I said. I was personally invited. That's when the mood shifted. A man beside her laughed loud and careless. Someone else muttered something about security. Eleanor reached over and pulled the pen out of my hand like she was taking a toy from a child. "This is a private event. You need to leave." I reached into my jacket for the invitation and she snapped, "Don't reach for anything." Two security guards appeared out of nowhere, hands folded, eyes already narrowed. Phones started coming out. You could feel it. The electricity of judgment the thrill people get when they think they're watching someone get exposed. I showed them the invitation. One guard glanced at it. Eleanor didn't even look. "Anyone can print a piece of paper," she said. Her brother stepped in, grinning. Probably wandered in from the service entrance. More laughter. Not nervous. Mean. I stood there, shoulders back, hands visible. Inside, something twisted. Not anger, yet. More like that familiar, heavy realization that no matter what I said, they had already written the story. Someone accused me of hovering near the gift table. Another said I looked like I was scouting the place. A man in a navy suit joked about calling the cops before something goes missing. Eleanor nodded, like that settled it. "Call the police." When the officers arrived, the crowd had grown. 50, maybe more. All watching, all recording. One officer asked for my ID. I handed it over. His expression changed just slightly. The other officer looked unsure. Eleanor filled the silence fast. "He's impersonating a military officer. Stolen valor. It's disgusting." That word spread like fire. Stolen valor. Federal crime. People started shouting. Someone said I should be arrested. The pressure built thick and ugly. The officer hesitated, then sighed like he already knew how this would go. I heard the click before I felt it. Cold metal around my wrists. Handcuffs. And then they applauded. Actually applauded. Like this was entertainment. Like they'd just watched Order Restored instead of a man being humiliated for daring to show up. I stared straight ahead, breathing slow, counting. I'd been in situations where panic gets people killed. This wasn't that, but it felt close. Somewhere inside the mansion, the groom was getting ready. Daniel. A good man, a soldier. The reason I was there. He had no idea. Then everything changed. A black SUV pulled up fast. A senior officer stepped out, scanned the scene, and froze when he saw me. He pushed through the crowd, eyes locked on my face, my posture, my ring. "Get the groom," he said. Not asked, ordered. The noise dropped instantly. Doors flew open. Daniel ran out in full dress uniform, panic written all over his face. He saw me in handcuffs and stopped dead. Then he ran. shoes slipping on stone, breath ragged. He stopped 10 feet away and snapped to attention, sharp and perfect. "General Marcus Hale, sir," he said, voice breaking. "Lieutenant Daniel Brooks requests permission to approach." You could hear people gasp. Around us, other service members straightened, saluted. The officer unlocked the cuffs so fast the keys rattled. Daniel stepped forward, eyes wet. "Sir, I'm so sorry." I put a hand on his shoulder. "Breathe," I said. "Quiet. Steady." The truth spilled out after that. Who I was, what I'd done, why I was there. Daniel told them how I pulled him from a burning vehicle overseas, how I went back again and again. His bride said I was supposed to walk her down the aisle. Eleanor's face drained of color. She tried to speak. "Apologies, explanations. If you had just told us who you were." "I tried," I said. "You didn't listen." That was the moment. The shift. People realizing this wasn't a mistake. It was a choice. A snap judgment. A decision made before facts ever mattered. We went through with the ceremony. I walked the bride down the aisle. I kept my word. Behind us, statements were taken. Videos saved. Names noted. The fallout came fast. The footage went everywhere. Jobs lost. Boards resigned. Investigations opened. People who laughed stopped answering their phones. Power evaporated quicker than anyone expected. I didn't celebrate. I donated every dollar that came later to veterans groups. Because the point was never revenge. It was accountability. People ask me how I stayed calm. Truth is, anger was there. I just didn't let it drive. Sometimes the strongest thing you can do is stand still and let people show you who they are. So here's what I want to know. If you'd been there, who would you have been? The one laughing? The one filming? The one staying silent? Or the one who spoke up? Drop your thoughts below. Argue if you want. Tell your story. Because moments like this don't announce themselves. They just happen. And when they do, your choice matters.